Hi, I'm Bethany and I have a pet bumblebee and I'm going to tell you about my life with it. It's a bit of a strange pet, but it's made me learn more about nature and love nature more having a pet bumblebee. So it all started on a normal Saturday. I was just walking on the hills with my family and suddenly I stopped because I saw something on the path. It was about on the middle of our walk and I looked down and I saw it was a bumblebee. At this point, the bumblebee was nearly dead. We think it might have been trodden on, and I just thought, I can't leave this bumblebee there suffering. At this point, my parents were way ahead. So what I did was, in desperation, I tried to put it on a stick, but it kept falling off and hurting itself even more. So in the end, I took off my shoe and I put the bumblebee in my shoe. But by the time I got back to my parents, I looked in the bag and I found a small pot and I put a flower in there and an orange segment in there for it to eat. And at this point it was nearly dead and I thought it wouldn't survive home because I really wanted to take it home and look after it. So I ran with it home, and when I got home I found my old stick insect place and filled it with some flowers and honeysuckle and blossom and sugared water and a bit of honey, and she really loved it in there. And every day I love watching her get stronger, but I realised she had damage to her wings and I really wanted to let her go, but she didn't know how to fly and she got really frustrated. Which actually made me quite sad because I really wanted to let her go into the wild, but I couldn't. After time, my bond with the bumblebee grew and I'd take it out of his cage and I would stroke it and she'd really like that. And I'd let her on my hand and she wouldn't sting me because she trusted me, and I just loved her so much. For a bit we decided it would be kind to let the bumblebee go outside, so we got the container and put it outside so the bumblebee could climb out on the stalks if it wanted to get out. We went for a walk, and when we came back it was still there, so we think it stayed because it liked us, and our home was a better opportunity than it in the wild because it wouldn't have survived because it didn't. One day in the afternoon I was looking at the bumblebee's cage because it needed to be cleaned out and put some new flowers in there, and I saw the bumblebee wasn't moving. Straight away my heart started to thump, and it was lying on a leaf at the time, so I took it off the leaf and I put it on the brick hoping that it would start to move again, but then I realised that it was dead. And I couldn't stop crying for ages. I was really sad because I love that bumblebee. And I still miss it now. But hopefully I'll find another bumblebee just like it. But I really loved her, and I was happy that I gave her the best life that she could have. I was devastated, but I knew it had the best life it could have. Died of old age because we'd saved it, but I was still really, really upset. So I decided to give it a proper funeral because she was so part of our family. So first I got a matchbox and filled it with some tissue and laid the bumblebee inside. But then I decided it was too boring and plain for a very posh queen bumblebee, so I laid some of her favourite blossom inside it and some of her favourite type of sugared water, which has some lemon juice in it and white sugar instead of brown sugar, and she really loved that, and I hope she appreciates our efforts now as an angel bumblebee. Then I covered the box in some pink tissue paper and I decided to look perfect. We had a proper funeral for her, actually. I buried her in a plant pot and I made a little gravestone for her, as you can see on the right-hand side. And we buried her in a plant pot, as I just said, and I got everyone to lay flowers there and had a funeral. I got my mum to play some sad music and it was just like a proper funeral for a bumblebee. And now I look back, I think it's quite funny what I did. But since I had a pet bumblebee, it's actually made me be more kind to nature and respect nature more, because before I wasn't quite the same. And now I love nature, and I want you to do the same thing. If you ever find a bumblebee, just don't leave it there to suffer. Just pick it up. It wouldn't hurt you just to help it. Because without bumblebees, we wouldn't have fruit and lovely flowers, and we wouldn't have most things. If you think about it, most things are grown from flowers and plants and stuff. So just help bumblebees. Anyway, thank you for watching.